Farming is a progression. First and foremost, let's just draw a line in the sand here. I don't recommend making a farmer 6-star first, period, at all, not whatsoever, period. Like it's probably the most pointless recommendation I've ever heard. But let me explain to you why. So for those of you who are still here who haven't like rage quit the video because I said don't 6-star your farmer first. The reason being is this. As you guys know, runes are the most important thing for you to do in this game because that determines the strength of your monster. It's just like when you start playing an RPG and you're like, man, I gotta find a way to get that best weapon. You get that best weapon and then all of a sudden your team is just the shit, right? Hashtag the shit. So runes are the most important. So what happens is in a situation is when you start this game, right? You're going to go into a craze. Com is trying to get as much money out of you as possible, of course, which is understandable because they're a video game company. You're overwhelmed with this monster collection. You're like, oh my god, I got to catch them all. So in an attempt to summon all the monsters in the world, you're buying summoning packs, you're doing your thing. So now you got all these monsters. How do you level them? Right? So you go online, you Google, you YouTube, you say, oh, how do I level up my monsters quickly? You find the nearest farming guide. People are going to be like, 6-star your farmer first. You're like, okay, boom, on it. You 6-star your farmer first. You get to a point you have a 6-star farmer. You're at this point, you've already cleared Famine. You got your Light and Dark Scroll, and then you go into Famine, and then you lose. Why? Why do you lose? Because your runes are shit. So now you have a 6-star. Okay, you've wasted all of your units. You fed all of your monsters. You have no dungeon team, no nothing, because you spread yourself so thin, and you made your 6-star. Okay, you got a 6-star now that is unable to do shit. Right? All he can do is level up units. So in terms of runes, that puts you that forces you in a situation where now you're basically stuck in the scenario, and you're left to your whims at whatever hell stage you could successfully clear, which is probably Garen Forest, Mount Sis, Mount White, or Kabir Ruins at best. Okay, depending on the element and type of your unit. So you're stuck in those first four stages. Period. Now, with that being said, with the 6-star farmer, do you have an option if you're able to solo hell in all 4 of those stages? Of course, you can farm 4-star runes in hell on the hell boss if you can clear the hell boss consistently. If you need fatal, you're going to be kind of in a pickle though because the golems on the hell stage are kind of tough. And I don't mean tough like tough, but like, you know, they're defensive units, so obviously they're a little bit harder to kill, especially if your chosen 6-star farmer has an element disadvantage or he doesn't have defense break or deal enough damage, which he probably won't because you won't have the runes required for him to be efficient. So in order to avoid that situation, what I recommend is building a team of 5-stars, specifically your dungeon team first, moving into Kairos, getting the runes that you need, and then making your farmer later. The reason why I recommend that is because in Mount Sis, Garen Forest, Mount Sis specifically, in Mount Sis, it's the easiest hell stage to farm. Literally, if you have a 3-star with element advantage or 4-star with element advantage or, you know, whatever, with decent runes, specifically meaning that they meet the rune criteria that they need. So if they're an attack type, their attack crit rate attack, percentages, of course, guys, or their attack percent, crit damage, attack percent with high enough crit rate. Again, these are the runes that you'll be getting from Kairos. These stages are relatively easy to farm, guys. You know, so it's just like you can take, for instance, do I have any rune 3-stars on me right now? Who do we have? We got McKeen. All right, so McKeen right now is ruined as a water attacker, so we use McKeen. All right. So she's a 4-star right now, just, you know, barely awakened, and we'll take her to stage 2 because that's, you know, obviously the corresponding stage, and she has the best chance to win here. She has no defense break. Obviously, she has her own little heal, but we'll take her in here, and I'll show you guys. This is the hell stage. Literally, any 3-star, like you can take a 3-star beefy unit, HP type, defense type, attack type, whatever type, and take them in here and find success. you know what I'm saying? And be able to solo farm or do whatever you need to farm, and there's not heavy requirements. And this is why I recommend 5-starring a team first, because with a 4-star unit you can solo farm a hell stage, you can still get experience. Is it going to be the best? No, it's not going to be the best in experience. Is it going to be the best in energy return ratio? No. But as human beings, we have a tendency to want the best things in life without doing the work for them. So we just go in and be like, boom, I just want to do fame and hell right out the gate with my water slime, just because such and such told me to do it. And unfortunately in life, I mean, that's just not how it works. So when you guys are going through these things, and this is why I don't recommend 6-starring a farmer first, is not because, you know, whatever, you know, the clouds aren't aligned or the stars aren't aligned or whatever. It's just because you don't have to. I feel that your first 6 stars should be units that support your cause, specifically Bella, Vero, units that you're going to be with for a long time. Not units that you might 6-star now because you think you need a farmer and then never use it again for the rest of your Summoner's War existence. Because the problem with 6-starring a farmer early on is chances are, really, you probably will not use that unit ever again. Unless it's like a Nat 5 or a crazy Nat 4 that you know you're going to be using for all of progression. But how would you know that as a beginning player? You won't. So in order to save you the wasted resources, because in this game you're going to pull good units. No matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter how long it takes, you're eventually going to pull great units. So I don't want you to waste the resources up front when you could be using those resources to evolve and move further in Carol's dungeon. So, after we talked about that, and I showed you guys the example, how do you make your farmer? Okay? When you're building a farmer, guys, it's all about runes and elemental advantage. So, based on an element, so give me an element. Let's say we did fire. You pick Garen Force. You're building a fire damage unit. Then you're going to find a floor that's all wind or mixed with fire and wind. Then you have your stage. You will not go to a stage that has water in it, okay? If you're water, you're going to go to a stage that has either all fire or all water, or excuse me, all fire, all water. You will not go to a stage that has wind. If you're going to a wind stage, you're going to go to a stage that has all water. You're not going to go to a stage that has all fire or any fire units mixed between. That's literally the simplest thing that you have to do. Next thing you guys are going to check is what type of monster are you dealing with? Are you dealing with a monster that can heal itself? Are you dealing with a monster that has HP absorption? Those are typically the most valuable farming type attack units, or defense type, or HP type, whatever type of unit you're building. Those are typically the most effective farmers. Units that have some kind of way to heal themselves. So if they can heal themselves, or if they absorb a life from the enemy, some of the best farming type units in the game. Why? Because it saves you the time of having to go to Necro, which is a waste of time anyway, unless you're in-game, to farm vampire runes, okay? So, and that's one more thing I wanted to talk about, guys. You're going to hear a lot of players telling you guys, go get vampire runes so you can farm. You don't need it, bro. It's unnecessary. If you're solo farming, if you're trying to power level any type of unit solo, let's say in Mount Sis, you're getting almost 10,000 XP a stage, and you only need basically a well-run 3-star or a well-run 4-star to do it, you know? So, it's just unnecessary. And as your runes get better, guys, your farming stage will naturally get better. So, in terms of everything else, it's just excuse me. So, wow, I can't talk. But as you guys get better, okay, so like your runes get better, your grade gets better. Your 4-star is going to turn into a 5-star. Your 5-star is eventually going to turn into a 6-star. You're going to find yourself moving forward. You'll find that same wind unit that you were only able to do Mount Sis Stage 3 with is now able to do Hide and Eye Hell Stage 5. Then you'll find as you evolve, now your fire unit that you've been focusing on, that's been working so hard in Mount Sis or Kabir Ruins, is now able to do Tamor Desert, you know, on Hell, okay? Or your water unit that's been working so hard, has been stuck in Mount Sis for ages, or Mount White Ragon, is now able to do Rophagus Ruins on Hell, Treachery, Boss. You know what I'm saying? So that's just something that you guys will look at, and your units will constantly evolve. So how do you pick your initial farmer? So my strategy, and this is what I teach, I mean, you guys can go either way. You guys can go scenario farming if you guys choose to, if that's your preferred mode, that's fine. But what I like to show people is that I like to condense all of your moves. In chess or in life, guys, you don't have to be 10 steps ahead of your opponent. You just have to make sure that your next move is the best move that you make, period. So what I recommend is when you guys, like for those of you guys who have seen my other videos, like my Giants guides and all that other stuff, when you guys are building your Giants team, because that's essentially the first team that you're going to build, typically most of the time your team is going to be some kind of leader that influences your HP or defense. You're going to have some kind of attacker, okay? Usually a wind attacker, or whatever attacker you guys have chosen for your Giants progression. The rest of your team will be supports, but that attacker for your Giants team will usually be your farmer. The reason why is because why build 5,000 units when you can build one team that does everything for you? Like I cannot stress this enough, guys. Your Giants team will be your B10 Magic team, will be your B10 Elements team, will be your TOA 100 team. I cannot stress this to you guys enough. Like literally, your Giants team can get you through most of all the game content until you start getting into more advanced things. But that Giants team you can focus on and literally do everything with. So why build 50 units when you can build 5 units that can take care of most everything for you until you're ready to get into later Dragons, Necropolis, etc., right? So your Giants attacker, whoever that is, let's say for example your Giants attacker ended up being, I don't know, Marble. Where's Marble at? Where's he at? Or Olivine, sorry. But your Giants attacker ended up being Marble, okay? Marble is kicking it here. He's at 4-star. So now let's just pretend that, not Marble, I keep calling him a different name, but Olivine, sorry. Olivine. Let's say Olivine is your Giants attacker. You're using him because he removes negative effects and he increases attack bar. So what do you farm him with? So now you're working on him. You're getting his damage up. So in the meantime, you're in Giants, you're working on him. He's 4-star, 5-star, or you're working on 6-starring him, and you need to level him, and you need to level fodder. What do? You take his ass right to Mount Sis at stage 3. If he's stronger than what my Olivine is, you take him to Mount White, Hell, you know. Or if he's stronger than that, you take him to High Night Ruins, stage 4 or stage 5, excuse me. And it's really just that progression, guys. It's really just that simple. My job is to condense your moves so you have more power, more flexibility to choose and build who you want to build later. So we have to lock the foundations in place in terms of building a farmer for you guys to get everything squared away to make your life as easy as possible so you can enjoy the fun things in Summoner's War, which is not scenario farming or essence grinding. just saying. So again, you know, the simplest way, guys, to make a farmer is to select an attacker that's, you know, in your dungeon team. So if that attacker's in your dungeon team, it minimizes the amount of stuff that you're going to have to focus on. Now again, if they have life drain or stuff like that, are they more effective? Of course. If you have a unit like Trevor whose power increases as they get weaker, of course. I mean, are there clutch units? Yes. But you can essentially use any type of unit. So now let's get down to the nitty gritty. Okay, so now that we've explained, and let's just rehash everything. So shortcut mode is how to build a farmer. Select elemental affinity. Make sure that that element is strong against the stage that you're going to. Make sure the rune criteria is matching because, you know, that's what it is. And then the most effective way to pick it is going to be through Karos Dungeon. For the rune effectiveness, you know, you guys should watch, definitely watch the rune guide videos because those go more in depth, and the type guide videos that I've posted, those will help you guys get a rune set going for your particular type of monster, guys. Again, very helpful videos for beginners and intermediates and people who are trying to optimize their rune power, but definitely check those out. So that's pretty much it. Simple guide to farming, condense your steps, elemental advantage, go to the stage that works for you on Hell, win the game. Okay, and you guys can start farming Hell stages very, very early on. That just is what it is. For everyone else, for all the sticklers out there that are like, why hasn't he cleared the map on Hell? It's because it doesn't matter. Until Com gives me some outstanding reward, this is my 3rd account now, like I'm not clearing Hell stages unless I absolutely need to. Okay, so for instance, like on Fame, stage 1 and 2 are literally the only stages that you're going to need, unless you're trying to farm like 4 or 5-star revenge runes from the boss, which I don't care about because I'm in Karos. Makes sense? Because in Karos you're getting the best runes in the game, so by this time I'm not worried about the scenario. I cleared the scenario initially now because they added the on normal they added the rewards to get the rune sets and to unlock rifts and raids. But other than that, honestly, guys, the rest of it is pointless. The 30 crystals that players will tell you to clear the map for are ridiculous, because you get to a fresh map and you're trying to get 3 stars on the map, you're going to spend way more than an energy refill to clear all stages just to get that crystal back. So basically, it's just wasted time. So, but thought now that we got all that ranting out of the way, let's get down to the nitty grit, man. So everybody talks about Faymin. Faymin. How do you build for Faymin? Vampire runes, right, is what you guys typically hear. But this is more kind of clutch here. In Faymin, guys, normal and hard are your best friends. Hard mode is probably the best farming plays, period, in the game. Why? Because a lot of times you're getting 3 energy back per clear. So it's turning Faymin into a 1 energy run, okay? Which makes Faymin the most efficient place to farm. How do you farm Faymin? You build a water attacker. When do you farm Faymin? When you're building your dragon's team. When you're building your dragon's team, you're building a water attacker for the boss, okay? So again, I mentioned farming is like progression. When you start the game, you'll have a giant's team. You'll have a wind attacker, okay? Or whatever attacker you guys have. Your wind attacker or water attacker, whatever you guys build for your giant's team, is literally going to be your farmer until probably Tamur Desert, okay? Once you guys are autoing Giant's Tent and you're clearing TOA, you're starting to work on a water attacker. That water attacker will be your Faymin farmer, okay? And that's how farming progression will happen. Your farming progression will move forward with your water attacker that you'll use for dragons. Whether that's Sigmaris, whether that's Stella, whoever it is for you. That's who it is. It doesn't necessarily have to be a specific unit, but that's who it'll be. You'll take that water attacker. I can't talk. You'll take that water attacker to Faymin Hard, because Faymin Hard is cake compared to Faymin Hell. So you can use pretty much anybody. Like, let's use Eloine, for example. Eloine's a 6-star that I've been working on for a straight face speed dragons comp. His damage and stuff is not quite there yet. Neither are his runes or his speed. But we'll use him for the example, just so you guys can see. So 9764. In terms of sheer speed, how fast you can clear Faymin Hard versus Faymin Hell until you get the runes that you need. This is bar none. I mean, it's just awesome. Very efficient. It's very fast. The money is okay. It's not as good as it used to be when we had violent runes, but it's okay. You know, it's decent. But you can get it done, and it's not going to be a major stress to you as a player. I recommend this using your water attacker here is just because you're not going to be building other units. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you're here, you might as well be killing 2 birds with 1 stone and doing what you got to do. So like if you're building a water attacker for dragons, you might as well bring them here and win both sides of the coin. So again, you know, I mentioned units that have a self heal that can heal themselves or have some kind of vampire thing built in are the most effective. I don't want you guys breaking off into Necro to try to farm vampire runes, you know, until later. Once you guys get into Necro, okay? Once you guys get into Necro, you have, you know, a couple of options. Necro is typically going to happen in game, top 300, which is really, honestly, when you should be doing Faymin Hell anyway. Because by the time you guys are going to need vampire runes is when you should be even worrying about Faymin Hell. Until then, normal and hard are fine. Specifically, hard is great. If you guys have been farming your runes consistently, also, that really takes Faymin out of the picture, you know, in all reality. Because if you guys have built your wind attacker, you know, good enough, or you guys, by this time, you guys will be moving into speeding up your Giant's 10 run, and let's say you guys have pulled a Mir from Guild Battle, or if you guys have been working on Lucian, or any kind of strong wind attack type unit, you guys can move right into Aiden Force on Hard or Hell, Stage 1. And that's something that you guys can really look at too as well, you know, when you guys are building your teams, so you guys can pull through. So, you know, that's a big thing. Another thing, although slower, you can also use units that can heal themselves, you know, as a farmer. So for instance, this is Emma. She can heal herself, she busts her own defense, she has a shield. Although slow, Does it still work? Yes. So for you free-to-play players out there who are worried about letting your energy refill while you guys are farming, so you guys tend to like longer clear times, units that can heal themselves and buff themselves are also viable additions in farming Fame and Hell, guys. So that's pretty much it. I mean, we covered it all, guys. To give it a short recap on how to build a farmer, elemental advantage. Basically pick the farmer that's going to be your attacker in your corresponding team. Your Giants attacker will be your first farmer. After that, your second farmer will be your Dragons attacker as you move into Famine. If you decide to do a one-stop shop, you could just make your wind attacker from Giants your farmer throughout the whole damn game, because that will take you all the way to Aiden. And of course, as you guys move into Necro, Raids, and you have better runes and all that jazz, you can move into later stages, specifically like Chiruka Remains and stuff like that, to get the maximum amount of experience necessary. If you guys are wondering about rifts now, the dimensional rifts or whatever, because those experiences, you know, obviously is insane because it's really fast. That is specifically just going to be elemental advantage again as well, and just being able to do that normal or hard to just be up to you. If you have a unit again that can absorb life or is Rune Vampire, you know, at that stage in your game, then that will be more effective. But I mean, that covers it, guys. That's how you effectively build a farmer. I think we got it all. I think we covered it all. If you guys like this video, if you guys learned a lot from this video and this helped clear up some stress for you from having to like build a farmer, because that's what everybody says, then definitely give this video a thumbs up. Let's get this video to 500 likes. And if you guys didn't learn shit, or if this video was terrible, thumb it down. But if you're going to thumb the video down, please tell me why, so we can continue to make the content that we bring to you guys better. But that covers it. I mean, I'm assuming you guys want to see if Emma, I was about to call her Elsa. but I'm assuming you guys want to see if Emma over here at level 33 is going to finish this. But yeah, so I guess we'll finish. What do you guys want to talk about, you know, while we do this? I don't know. But no, actually, we'll just call her, guys, because she's probably going to be here for like another 2 minutes, and I don't know if you guys want to sit here for 2 minutes and watch this, because self-healing, oh my god, and glancing hit and defense break takes a long time. But yeah, but thank you guys all so much for tuning in. I love you guys. We're pulling close to 6,000 subscribers, guys. Let's help as many players as we can. Share the video. But I love you guys. We'll catch you in the next video. Peace.